and welcome to Reviews with Love Christmas edition. So last year I did Battle of the Christmas Movies between Lifetime and Hallmark, and that made perfect sense to me because they were starting same weekend, same day, everything, same month, all of that. So I wanted to do who's going to have the best and all of that. So it was great. That was then. Very hectic, quite exhausting. So I'm doing a bit differently this year. I'm going to be just reviewing each one individually as best as I can. Hopefully I can keep up because there is a lot. And Hallmark this year is getting a 3-week head start, about 3 weekends. So there'll be about 9 movies in before Lifetime actually gets started with theirs, which is November 12th. And yeah, from what I've been seeing, it's all looking pretty good. So hopefully I'm able to actually keep up with all of them. I definitely know that I'm most likely going to be watching them. It's just whether or not I'm going to actually create an audio thing about it, a review for it. But we shall see. Well, let's give it a go. First up is You, Me, and the Christmas Trees. This one's got Danica McKellar, I think that's her name. I'm familiar with a couple of other Hallmark films. She's really good. She's a real natural. She really takes on the character. I really feel like she embodies the role of the person that she's playing. And so this one, I'm not really sure the full name because she said it pretty fast, which I think was kind of the point. It was like, oh my gosh, this is really long name for this job that she's doing, like her title. But pretty much it's evergreen tree specialist. I'm gonna just say that. She's got a nickname. She's sort of been known as the Christmas tree whisperer. She wasn't really a fan of it to begin with. She doesn't call herself that, but she sort of grows into it. So she was initially engaged like 6 months prior, and she broke up the engagement, and it was supposed to be a Christmas wedding. So now Christmas come along and she's not really looking forward to going back home for the holidays, which feels like it's always going to be like people asking her, oh, how are you? What's going on? Da da da. And also it seems like her mum, more so especially, is very fond of keeping up appearances, like giving people a perception of who they are, which may not necessarily be who they are, especially when it comes to her. You know, she tends to be a bit more messy. She's got leaves in her hair and stuff like that, dirt on her nails because she's just down in the soils, and that's her life. And her mom is very prim and proper and likes to, let's get the nails done, let's get you looking good, are you wearing that? So she always feels that added pressure to represent herself in a way that she's just really not. Well, she ends up getting like a last minute call to this Christmas tree farm because apparently the needles are falling off and the trees are just dying immediately after they're cut, which is not supposed to be happening, I assume. The guy, his name is Jack, and he's taken on the business. It's been in their family generation for many years, and now it's his turn, and he feels like it's a failure because he doesn't know what's going on, and their customers may have to possibly go to the competing Christmas tree farm, and they don't want that happening because it's been tradition that their farm has always been doing really well, and supposedly their trees get to be featured every year during the Christmas celebration for the lighting of the tree. and the mayor is like expecting this tree to be ready, but obviously because the trees are really sick, there's something going on with them. The guy, Jack, he's not quite sure if they're going to be able to provide the tree this year. So she comes along, says, okay, yeah, sure. Obviously, she's trying to avoid going back home. So she's like, yeah, I'll take that on. Yeah, sure, let's figure out what's going on. She gets there. It's not as easy as she imagined. She ends up actually running, they end up running into each other, like their cars, and her car needs to be fixed now. So she ends up having to stay a whole nother day. But now she's really like bothered by the fact that she's not really able to figure out what's going on with these trees, and she's really determined to help because she's also starting to like the guy, and he's obviously really starting to like her. There's no full compromise when it comes to her making suggestions about him diversifying, maybe don't fully rely just on Christmas trees. He doesn't like that too much, which ends up being sort of a catalyst to her leaving. But for the most part, you know, I have to say my opinion about it. I liked it. Like I said, I typically like her movies and Christmas movies specifically. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I really did like it. And the drama, you know, there's always that. So I'm probably going to be saying this a lot because that's the thing about these movies. A Lifetime, Hallmark, there's always that drama that comes in, and it's like, some of them it's like, okay, that's perfectly understandable. I could see where that would take place. And then there are others where it's just like, where did that come from? Like, what is going on? Why did they, that was so unnecessary. But in this one, in some sense I saw it coming, but at the same time it was still kind of like, I think they could have somewhat, you know, avoided that little drama, but that's just me. But I can see they gotta throw that in, so, and it wasn't bad, it didn't just come out of nowhere, but yeah, so I thought it was a good movie. I quite enjoyed their chemistry. It was really nice, very believable. I'm sure that's the whole point of acting, but believe it or not, there's some that's just like, okay, I'm not feeling this connection. But with them, I felt it. And like I said, she's really good, that it doesn't really matter what role she's in. She does a really good job, and she's got this way of connecting with her co-stars, like whoever the person she's supposed to connect with. She's really good at that. So I will say, you know, very natural, like I said, like a whole world that she creates, and it's very comfortable, and I can truly believe that she's a part of it. So that is You, Me, and the Christmas Trees, and that's by Hallmark. Yeah, they've got plenty more coming up, so I'm going to do my best to be keeping up with all of it. But like I said, nice movie so far for their first one. I actually did enjoy it. It had some sentimental moments in there, which I liked as well. So there you go. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you tune in for many more that are going to be coming, and check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Lovelyn. Still doing things on that, and also yeah, thank you again for listening. God bless.